Yo, what's good? My name is Jans. I'm a hip hop producer and artist based in Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm here to do a basic, quick comparison between the WARM Audio 273 preamp and the Neve 1073 SPX. Now, I know one's dual channel, one's single, so it's not a full, exhaustive review of these products. It's also not a scientific test that I'm going to be doing where I do some null tests and things like that. This is basically a pretty at-home studio kind of comparison where I record two different vocal takes through each preamp. Very similar vocal takes of the same verse. I tried to match the intensity and the performance as best as I could, as well as the volume and level and settings on each preamp. If you're looking for more scientific tests, this probably isn't the video, but I wanted to do something because I didn't see a lot of videos of it with rappers. So I wanted to do something for people who were looking for this, to hear what these two preamps sound like with rap vocals. So I have my personal thoughts on which one I think is best, but I want you guys to let me know what you think. I think these are both great tools and great pieces of audio gear that you can use to get great results with. And so there won't be any effects or no compression or EQ or anything done. This is straight through these preamps. I didn't even engage the EQ or anything on the preamps themselves. I tried to match the settings as best as I could. They are a little different when it comes to the settings on the front panels of these units, but I did listen and try to match the best as I could to get them sounding as identical as possible going into my Audient ID22. And I used a JZ Microphones Blackhole 2 microphone. I love this microphone. It's kind of modeled after a Neumann U87, so it kind of has that sound. And I really love this microphone, and I think I think it's a good choice to pair with this preamp, as a lot of people use the Neve with the U87. So you can get a good idea of what these preamps would sound like on rap vocals. So let's get started. So I'm gonna start with the WARM Audio 273. Let's get it.
So fresh, so clean. The shell toes with the Echo jeans. Pretty red bone and some retro threes. Got me pinching myself like why she messing with me. I couldn't dream, so she got back with an ex. Local dope boy that I had to respect. I wasn't about the action, wasn't trapping, wasn't a threat. How can I get her back? Maybe by rapping, I guess. Ciphering art class, sketching left from it all. A nigga loved to draw, but my perspective was off. I just thought the raw talent would be projected on the wall. Collected and well respected, selected for the hall. One day, the homies macking, trapping on our lunch break. I'm too clumsy, I play it safe, extra napkins, catching all the flows, rapping to my lunch tray. Nigga front space, got something to say because I love it, baby.
Alright, now let's listen to the Neve 1073 SPX.
So fresh, so clean. The shell toes with the Echo jeans. Pretty red bone and some retro threes. Got me pinching myself like why she messing with me. I couldn't dream, so she got back with an ex. Local dope boy that I had to respect. I wasn't about the action, wasn't trapping, wasn't a threat. How could I get her back? Maybe by rapping, I guess. Ciphering art class, sketching left from it all. A nigga loved to draw, but my perspective was off. I just thought the raw talent would be projected on the wall. Collected and well respected, selected for the hall. One day, the homies macking, trapping on our lunch break. I'm too clumsy, I play it safe, extra napkins, catching all the flows, rapping to my lunch tray. Nigga front space, got something to say because I love it, baby.
So which one did y'all prefer? Did you prefer the WARM Audio 273 or did you prefer the Neve 1073 SPX? Let me know in the comments. Definitely let me know if you feel like the Neve 1073 SPX is a waste of money. It's about twice the price of the WARM Audio if you want the 2-channel. I have the 1-channel, which is what I'm comparing to the 2-channel WARM Audio 273. And so it's a good bargain if you find the WARM Audio sounding better than the Neve or close enough. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. And now we're going to move to a different part of this test where I am going to, or comparison, I should say, where I'm going to cycle through the different takes. And that way you can get a more of a side-by-side comparison here. And then I'll do them solo without the music.
So fresh, so clean. The shell toes with the Echo jeans. Pretty red bone, it's some retro threes. Got me pinching myself like why she messing with me. I couldn't dream, so she got back with an ex. Local dope boy that I had to respect. I wasn't about the action, wasn't trapping, wasn't a threat. How could I get her back? Maybe by rapping, I guess. Cypher and art class, sketching left from it all. A nigga loved the draw, but my perspective was off. I just thought the raw talent would be projected on the wall. Collected and well respected, selected for the hall. One day, the homies macking, trapping on our lunch break. I'm too clumsy, I play it safe, extra napkins, catching all the flows, rapping to my lunch tray. Nigga front space, got something to say because I love it, baby.
Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Now I'm going to play these two tracks. Both, no music, just the tracks, solo, cycling through them. That way you can hear them a little bit better.
So pretty red. So fresh, so clean. The shell toes with the echo jeans. Pretty red bone, it's some retro threes. Got me pinching myself like why she messing with me. I couldn't dream, so she got back with an ex. Local dope boy that I had to respect. I wasn't about the action, wasn't trapping, wasn't a threat. How could I get her back? Maybe by rapping, I guess. Cypher and art class, sketching left from it all. A nigga loved the draw, but my perspective was off. I just thought the raw talent would be projected on the wall. Collected and well respected, selected for the hall. One day, the homies macking, trapping on our lunch break. I'm too clumsy, I play it safe, extra napkins, catching all the flows, rapping to my lunch tray. Nigga front space, got something to say because I love it, baby.
And there we have it. So let me know what you think in the comments. All right, so once again, this hasn't been a scientific test. This hasn't been like there are people who actually do, null tests and things like that, and they have expensive, very much better tools than I have to do this kind of test. This has been sort of just a comparison between two different vocal takes that I've taken between with these two preamps with the same microphone and the same audio interface. Trying to level match as best as I could, but again, it's not a perfect test. It's not a scientific test. But I know I'm gonna still get comments from people saying, "Oh man, you got to do this, you got to do that." But I really just wanted to, since I had both of them, I bought the WARM Audio preamp from Sweetwater, and I liked it, but I felt like, man, it was pretty pricey. It was about $1,600, and I felt like, man, if I'm going to spend $1,600 on a piece of gear, let me get something that's going to retain its value. Let me invest in like a Neve or something. And so that's my main reasoning for getting the Neve. The WARM Audio didn't blow me away. It sounded good, but for $1,600, I kind of want something that's going to blow me away, or have a little bit more expensiveness in the sound. And when I started messing around with the Neve and recording with it, that's what I felt I got from it. And listening to these two vocal takes, for me, I can clearly hear a difference in the top end and sort of the tightness with the Neve. It kind of adds like a sort of silkiness on the top end that's very smooth. Whereas the WARM Audio sounded good. It picks up my vocal range and the tone of my voice very well, but it has a bit of like a dull or like a muddy sound to it. And it's not a terribly like muddy or anything. It's very, very subtle, but mixing is subtle. Like there's so many aspects of mixing that it's between 1 or 2 decibels or lower, or like you're talking about a change made in a certain tiny window of the frequency spectrum that can make a whole difference in a mix. And so when you're looking for preamps and microphones and things like that, if you can't hear those minute differences, it's best to not invest in, a higher piece of gear. Use what you have until your ears get there and you can actually hear the difference. Buying a bunch of expensive gear is not going to help, because the main piece of gear that you want to invest in is your ears. And so for me, it's something that I can clearly hear between those two takes. The WARM Audio sounds good, and so a lot of people are going to probably hear this and be like, man, they sound really close. I can't hear the difference, because it sounds really good and it's meant to mimic the Neve. So the character and the tone are very, very similar. It's just when you start to hear certain subtle things like the silkiness, and then like how the bottom end is kind of rounded on the Neve. And whereas in the WARM Audio, it's a little bit boxy, a little bit like muddy. And as you start adding effects and like adding more vocal layers and stuff, then you start to hear the differences. Which I'll probably make a video later with the Neve and doing like vocal stacks and choirs and things like that. But I'm in love with the Neve 1073 SPX, man. It's the best preamp that I've ever owned. And so I think I'm going to have it for a long time. And if I need to sell it one day, it'll retain its value. But yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think. If you disagree with me, that's fine. If you think this video is trash, this is my first kind of review on my channel. So I'll be doing a lot more reviews. So any feedback like that would be helpful. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Once again, my name is Jans. I'm a hip-hop artist and producer based in Louisville, Kentucky. And you can find links to my music and my tracks below. Space.